Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the antimicrobial resistance. What is antimicrobial resistance? Antimicrobial resistance occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites change over time and no longer respond to medicine, making infections harder to treat and increasing the risk of disease spread, severe illness, and death.
With the discovery of the antibiotics, the health community thought that the battle with the infectious diseases was won. However, now that so many bacteria have become resistant to multiple antimicrobial agents, the war has seemingly escalated in favor of the bacteria. Infectious diseases are currently a significant cause of morbidity and mortality worldwide because of the antimicrobial resistance that bacteria or the microbes have developed against the antibiotics. So next are the antimicrobial agents. First of all, there are the total 5 groups. First group includes the agents that inhibit the cell wall synthesis. Second group includes the agents that depolarize the cell membrane. Third group includes the agents that inhibit the cell wall synthesis. And fourth group includes the agents that inhibit nucleic acid synthesis. And the fifth group includes the agents that inhibit the metabolic pathways in bacteria. All of these factors play a great role in the antimicrobial resistance. Then there are the many factors that have contributed to the growing resistance problems. Some of these include increased consumption of antimicrobial drugs both by humans and animals. Second one is the improper prescribing of the antimicrobial therapy by the physician or the doctor, or the persons who are not properly trained, or the doctors, as it normally happens in the developing countries. Then third one is the overuse of many common antimicrobial agents and by physicians may occur because the choice of drug is based on a combination of low cost and low toxicity. There may also be improper prescribing of antimicrobial drugs, such as initial perception of a broad spectrum drug that is unnecessary or ultimately found to be effective for the organism causing the infection. If we look onto a report of the CDC Controlled Disease Center that has reported that a conservative estimate is that over 2 million people in the US become ill each year with antimicrobial resistance infections, resulting in more than 23,000 deaths. The cost attributed to these resistant infections ranges from nearly $7,000 to more than $29,000 per patient. This is the total expenditure that is served over a single patient annually. Studied on the healthcare cost of methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus MRSA infection alone show that in the US the costs are over 18,000 per case dollar. In Germany the costs are nearly 19,000 euros per case, and in Switzerland there is an average added cost of over 1 lakh Swiss francs per case. Next topic is how the resistance prevail or the origins of the resistance. Bacteria as a group or species are not necessarily uniformly susceptible to resistance to any particular antimicrobial agent. Levels of resistance may vary greatly within related bacterial groups.
To measure how much a bacteria is resistant to the antibiotic, we use the MIC. MIC is the minimum inhibitory concentration, the minimal concentration of the drug that will inhibit growth of one bacteria. The susceptibility is actually a range of the average MICs for any given drug across the same bacterial species. If that average MIC for a species in the resistant part of the range, the species is considered to have intrinsic resistance to that drug. Bacteria may also require resistant genes from the related organism, and the level of resistance will vary depending on the species and the genes acquired. Further, there are the two types of the resistance: natural resistance and the acquired resistance. So if we look at the natural resistance may be intrinsic or induced in the naturally occurring genes in the naturally occurring in the bacteria, but are only expressed to resistance levels after exposure to the antibiotic. Intrinsic resistance may be defined as a trait that is shared universally within a bacterial species, is dependent of previous antibiotic exposure and not related to horizontal gene transfer. Second one is the acquired resistance. So the acquired resistance is the acquisition of the genetic material that confers resistance is possible through all of the main routes by which bacteria acquire any genetic material like the transformation, transposition and the conjugation. All of these help in the acquisition of the genetic material. Plus the bacteria may experience mutations to its own chromosomal DNA after facing the antibiotics. The acquisition may be temporary or the permanent. Plasmid mediated transmission or of resistance genes is the most common route for acquisition of the outside genetic material. And then if you see the bacteriophage borne, this transmission is fairly rare. If we see the certain bacteria such as the Acinetobacteria species are naturally competent and therefore capable of acquiring genetic material directly from the outside environment. Internally, insertion, sequence and integrins may move genetic material around and stresses. So the next topic is the mechanism of the resistance. So it consists of the 4 to 5 steps. First step is the limiting uptake of a drug. Second is the modifying a drug target. And third one is inactivating a drug. And fourth method is the active drug efflux. These are the 4 methods through which the bacteria become resistant to antibiotic. So the next is the impact of the antimicrobial resistance for individual bacteria. Impacts of the antimicrobial resistance for humans and the bacteria both are damaging, as it causes the delayed treatment, more cost of the treatment and more pain for the patient and the attendants of the patient. These many of the bacteria are now impossible to treat, and many diseases that are caused through these antimicrobial resistance are unable to be treated. One of these is the methicillin resistant bacteria MRSA, another is the vancomycin resistant bacteria VRSA. All of these are the examples of the antimicrobial resistance for individual bacteria. Some examples of the bacteria that are resistant to the antibiotics are the methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus MRSA MRSA. Then is the penicillin resistance Enterococcus, multi-drug resistance Mycobacterium tuberculosis MDR-TB, which is resistant to 2 tuberculosis drugs, isoniazid and rifampicin. Then here is the vancomycin resistance Enterococcus and vancomycin Staphylococcus aureus. And then the next example is the drug resistance non-typhoidal salmonella, drug resistant Salmonella serotyphi. Then there is the drug resistant Shigella, then methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and drug resistant Streptococcus pneumoniae, and then drug resistant tuberculosis. All of these are the bacteria that are resistant to the antibiotics and playing an important role in the human health.
So this was the today's lecture, and conclusions about today's lecture is that the bacteria are very versatile and adaptive. They have a proper mechanism to adapt to themselves to the environment or the pathogenic things or substances that can kill them. They are adaptive to them. They can change their genes. They can use different methods to protect them from these drugs. Unfortunately, there is no easy answer to this dilemma. Perhaps we need to rethink how we design new antimicrobial agents, or maybe start looking to natural substances for clues on what could be used in this fight. In 2010, the Infectious Disease Society of America (ISDA) requested that by 2020 there would be the FDA approval of 10 novel antibiotics. As of 2016, 8 new drugs have been approved, but only one of these is a novel antibiotic. And the median time in the approval pipeline of these drugs was 6.2 years. This is a huge time lapse, and the cost per dose of these drugs ranges from nearly $2,000 to nearly $4,200. So we will need to work hard and work quickly to find remedies for this pressing problem. Thank you so much.